Hello, hello, stream. Welcome back. Buongiorno now. Yeah, a little bit of a bare bones IRO broadcast today, unfortunately. So, not really working how we've planned it, the usual broadcast. So that's why it will be individual streams, no overlays, and all that good stuff happening. But maybe you're not too disappointed because you can actually see some tire wear and fuel and whatever. So it is, and the CLR crew is here. So hello, hello, hello. We're just waiting then for the driver swaps. The race is still currently going on, and off stint number 1. So less than a minute, I think, and we should see some cars racing for stint number 2 of this 8-hour race, here round 3, IRO GTEC in 2026. And yeah, I also realized we are down to 10 teams. But whatever happened today, not a good day for many of us, I reckon, with difficulties all around. Let's hope it's close racing currently. Looking at it on my second monitor, what's happening on the first stint, a couple of late overtakes due to tire wear and strategy. Oh, that's interesting, definitely. But probably the main thing here is that race leaders there have not entered this lobby for whatever reasons. I haven't read anything. So Sector 7 Racing, they're in the lead, but they don't have a driver in stint number 2. So it will be the Ovo team esports, the 111 Porsche with Antonio, and our first driver on the car, Ray, with the confirmation no driver available for Sector 7 Racing. So, and we're out on track, but it looked like Calstar for the NWR, the pole sitters, they have jumped Antonio because they put in less fuel. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, but that's the beauty of strategy with the endurance races for the driver swaps. P3, we have Elite Racing Squad now, Adi, behind that BMW M6. Zach, don't ask those questions. Where are certain teams and drivers? P4, we have Apex Motorsport. Rodriguez for the 23 car. Close behind, it is Jakey for the number 1 Esports Race Asylum Porsche. Then we have Super GT for Feel Good Racing out on track. The Shadow for the 66 crew, the GT Finlanders in E7. We are waiting for the next drivers. This is Project 1 Racing, Arcuvert GT, now behind the wheel, and Floris for Inferno Motorsport in that BMW. And P10, we have my team Esports Willy, now the driver. So right, that means stint 1 driver swaps is completed, so I can close that one on my end, and then let's focus on the current situation. So 88 racing laps in stint number 2 out of 4 total stints for the 8 hours here at Brands Hatch, and the pole sitters NWR back in the lead with Carlstar on the racing soft tire compound and less fuel than Antonio who is also using the racing softs. So, if you're new to this year's regulations, haven't heard of it, so we have limited sets of tires now introduced for those races. So you cannot just run the soft tires for every stint. So there is a cap on those tires, and I haven't been keeping track, unfortunately, with the tire usage so far for the teams, but at some point they have to run the mediums, maybe also the hards. I've not a clue at the moment what the best strategy will look like, but that's definitely the situation in softs, mediums. Yep, the go-to tires, but if you run out of available tires, you might need to switch to a hard one. Now let's have a quick look at the other drivers. RD4, the Elite Racing Squad, also on softs, and Rodriguez, who qualified for the 23 car yesterday. P4 now also on those softs. Feel Good Racing, who are currently P2 in the overall standings, they are also running that soft tire compound, but with a full tank. And then we have the first driver on the mediums, that is Shaky for the Esports Race Asylum, defending champions in P6. Soft tires it is for Shadow in the 66 Porsche for the GT Finland Racers. Mediums for the green Porsche for Project 1 Racing with Archivert driving now. And we have Floris for Inferno Motorsport also using the mediums on, at least for the start of that stint. And Willie is running the soft tire compound, trying to close that gap. So 1:33 the gap, so that's one lap down currently. Floris also, I think, just a lap down, so top 8 on the lead lap. Let's go to our race leader, and I think we haven't seen the current standings and all that stuff so far. So Ray did some magic in the background and provided us yesterday with a new updated standing. So let's bring that up for you for a little while. You hear the car still, but it's like the updated championship standings here with OVO Esports leading, Feel Good Racing in P2 and Inferno Motorsport P3. Then a little gap to Apex Motorsport in P4, Project Run Racing sitting in P5. We have the Esports Race Asylum team in 6th position, followed by NWR Motorsports, who are leading this race. It could gain a couple of positions if the trend continues like that. We have the Alien Motorsport team in P8, currently in 9th position. It's the GT Finland Racers, and rounding out the top 10, it's Elite Racing Squad. And we have my team Esports in P11, the Portugal All-Stars in 12th, followed by Curati Esports, and the Sector 7 Blazers. You see minus points because they already used an additional car swap. So I think they started with the Dodge Viper. They switched with their one free car swap for the season to the Nissan GTR for Bathurst, and now they are running a Porsche. So that's why they are running negative points currently. Alright, enough for that. Let's go back to the racing action in this one. So yes, at 88 racing laps, so on lap 89 you don't go round the final turn to start the final lap. You head straight into pit lane and yeah, get ready for the next travel swap, for the next stint. So that's the setup for now on midway through lap 7, so racing lap number 6. Calster is slightly increasing that gap to Antonio, not by much, but 6-7 seconds, so that seems to be very even on pace. At least P3 currently we have the fastest driver on track, if you're looking at the fastest lap. That's 23.000 for the 73 BMW. Gaining on those leaders, pushing maybe a little bit harder on those soft tires. See if we can catch a closer battle. If I'm not mistaken, there was like P9, P10, yeah? And it's the first time. Get ready, here we go. Jaeger Cam is active. Now it's an official Jaeger stream. And Flores under pressure on the medium tire compound. We have my team, Willie, in the AMG. Closing that gap. Will he get the run? Down the straight. 3/10, gaining a little bit. Don't think he will be close enough to go for a move. Let's go on board with the AMG. Listen to the sound. Ooh. Too much grass for my liking. This might be dirty tires. Or the 27 car. Yeah, under 3/10 that gap. Oh, there's blue flags. No, not close enough for now. So Willie can focus on performing an overtake maybe. No, there was a little snap. Ooh. Nearly lost that car. Good catch. But 3/4 are gone again. Yeah, I think I touched upon it during the qualifying yesterday. So a tricky track. This is narrow, old school racing track. Not much room for aero. So you'd easily touch the grass on those bends and turns. And so a little gap now for Flores. Let's see the next drivers. So blue flag zone, and Antonio gets past Archivert. So OVO Esports against Project 1 Racing. This leaves us with 7 teams running on the lead lap. Personal best for the 66 and Shadow. Roughly 10 seconds. That gap too shaky for Esports first time. Number 1 Porsche. Another 9 to 10 seconds then to Feel Good Racing and the German Super GT driver. And because we have seen so many Porsches already, let's go to the next one. Apex Motorsport number 23. Fastest driver on track currently, Rodriguez, with a 22.9. Gap to P3 to the podium. Under 9 seconds and improving that fastest lap to a 22.8. Oh, but Audi is not that much slower. Look at the lap times, 23.0, 22.9. So we're all getting into the groove now. Also Antonio with that 22.988. Gained 2/3 maybe. 2 NWR and Calster in the lead. Calster running very consistent lap times, low 23s currently, so he's already managing the pace now, not taking too many risks, and with the fuel going down a little bit, improving the lap times. Keeping that gap at roughly 6 to 7 seconds. Let's see if we are back. Flores against Willie. A battle for PE9. Where's the best spot for an overtake on this track? Turn 4 out of 30s. Need to get a good run. A bit too much grass, maybe for my liking, from the AMG. Still in that strong bit of the slipstream. Running and 2/3 keeping that gap. Close, but yeah, can't find a way around Flores, who is on the mediums, and Willie, he is on those soft tires, so in theory the soft tires should perform a little bit better. Again, touching the grass on corner exit, but carrying some momentum and speed. Flores and the 27 crew, they can defend their position without fighting too much at this stage. Yeah, you have to be really patient here, and then that opportunity arises, and you need to take advantage. For now, 3/10. It's close, but not close enough. A little bit hesitant on the power. Close racing between those two. So far, not a real opportunity. Again, a little bit twitchy for the 54 car coming out of the final turn. 4/10 that gap, so that saves Flores. A 23.5 on those mediums. I think that's some solid pace. Oh! Now, this was close. Later on, the brakes closed that gap. And the fastest lap is improving. For brief moment, it was Karlster, but Rodriguez down to a 22.7. We'll have a quick look at the gaps in a minute. We'll just stay with this one. This time, Flores is under pressure. He doesn't defend the inside. Still feels confident enough that he will have his nose in front. Oh. This time maybe 3/10 the gap. Closing in. A good run through the final turn, and then maybe send it into turn number 1. Let's wait, 2.5/10. Closer, 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 but not close enough again. Ooh, dirt and dust coming out of the cars. We'll go for the rundown now. and come back to this battle in a moment. So 6.6 seconds still that gap for Kels in the lead for NWR. And Antonio P2, purple sector for the 111 Porsche. P3 we still have the Elite Racing Squad team running with RD. And losing a little bit of time to the 23 car in P4. Rodriguez on a mission, charging 6.5 seconds. That gap gained definitely 2-3 seconds since the start of the stint, if I'm not mistaken. And P5, 13 seconds for Feel Good Racing and Super GT, followed by Jakey and the number 1 crew, the Sports Race Asylum team. The 66 car in P7, 8 seconds. Then a bigger gap to Archivert for Project 1 Racing on the medium. And then we go back to this fight between Flores and Willy Inferno Motorsport BMW versus my team Esports AMG. Running that close together also means the lap times are very similar, of course. The question is, can Willy in the AMG on the Racing Soft tires go quicker? Again, he's getting the run round about 3/10 heading into the final turn. This time a decent run. Earlier on the power, this could be the opportunity. It's less than 2/10 heading into turn 1. Pedicle band, but not close enough. Hard braking into Druids. The long right-hander. Nice slow. And he shows his nose into Surtees, the uphill left. Close to the inside curb, earlier the power this time. This could be the run. BMW is under pressure, covering the inside line. But more run for the AMG. But track position belongs to the BMW side by side. For a moment, they're still there. The BMW defends the inside nicely. No way around the outside for now, but I feel like this overtake is about to happen very early. So both drivers hit the grass, touch this bit, yeah, and probably not helping with the grip levels on their tires. So down to 4/10 again, and next attempt to go for that overtake. That probably can be quite frustrating if you're in the AMG and looking at Willy's perspective now. That's the nature of this track. Ooh, both very wide again. The run maybe. A late dive into turn number 4. Nope. Not again, hoping for the better run. It stays roughly 3/10 for now, and losing time to Archivert now. Gap went up from 5.5 to 6.3. And yeah, the Archivert and Flores, drivers in P8 and P9, currently the only drivers running on the medium tire compound. Everyone else is using one of their very limited sets of soft tires. Once again, it's round about 2/10 heading into turn number 1. Late on the brakes, nearly hit the rear end. They keep on fighting for that position. And yeah, shout out to Flores for like defending on the arguably slower tire compound, but yeah, making his BMW as wide as possible and not giving Willie any looks left or right to go for that move. And we also see that tire wear is slowly creeping in for the soft tire runners. So that's also a concern at some point. There will be a crossover point between the softs and the mediums. The gap now 6, 7, 10, so it was closer early on. Let's see what our leaders are doing. Kelster keeping it steady, consistent, low 23s. That goes out 22 9s and 8s in it, but yeah, still looking okay. Quick comparison to Antonio and tire wear. Porsche seems to be a little bit better compared to the Ferrari. Also the lap times, that's what you need, what you're looking for in those endurance races. And this is a bit concerning from what I can tell with the tire wear. The front left probably the worst out of the top 3 for the BMW. And this also gives Rodriguez like a really good opportunity. Yeah, I mean, another 2, maybe 3 seconds gain since the last time we were checking with them. And that tire wear is quite significant for Adi and the Elite Racing squad. So down to 2.5 seconds for now. And those lap times, mid 23s to low 24s, and still low 23s for Rodriguez. So that 23 car is flying at the moment. They're gaining 2, 3 tenths on one corner. It's crazy. It's probably where the BMW struggles the most with the tire wear, and probably the understeer kicking in now. So for those who have followed Stint 1, so what was the pit stop strategy? How long the drivers stay out on the softs. What's the pit window we can expect? So 88 racing laps total. If you want to go for a one-stopper in the stint, or maybe 30-ish laps on those softs, and then 58 on the mediums, something like that. But that's just a rough guess from my end. It's probably hard for the BMW and to do those 30 laps. It's really significant, that difference. Of course, different layouts on those cars, FR versus RR. And now it's Rodriguez. Is caught up with Adi and is inside the slipstream range. Let's do a little bit on board. Still gaining. See that? 1.1. So help for a little toe down the straight. Out of Ingledell. Into the final sector we go, and another 2/10 gained. So in theory, it shouldn't take that long. And with that speed difference at the moment, a quick look at Willie and Flores. So Willie finally made that overtake. It has 1.2 seconds, but we go back to the P3. ERS versus AMS. Can or will Adi defend that position by any means necessary? Probably not. It's still quite early in this 8-hour race. So it's 2 hours and 30 minutes in. So probably a bit too early to go ultra defensive. I think he was also watching the Delta. And he is also aware of his front left tire. Let's see. Gap should be coming down to half a second. Opportunity, yeah, Adi very wide. Maybe also a little bit dirty tires. If you go too wide, is struggling on the power. Rodriguez with the run. We saw it earlier around the outside. It's hard to do that, to perform that move. So yeah, Adi going defensive. Now through the middle sector, he sees this blue car behind, and this is where Rodriguez was gaining the most time. And Adi nearly lost the rear. showing his nose. Trying to get the inside line for turn number 1. No. Not yet. Now the gap goes out. Not yet. Maybe the run into Druids. 2-3/10. We saw it earlier. So catching is one thing. Performing the overtake is a different story. And this time on the inside line for Sotis turn number 4. And the Porsche gets past, muscles its way round. These front tire not complying, I think, anymore. So it's P4 for now. It's racing lap number 24. Front left tire, said it a couple of times now, and not looking too good. So wouldn't be surprised to see a pit stop within the next couple of minutes. Win one more. And back to the front, where we see that gap down to 5.5, so Antonio gained a second. Now maybe blue flags. Looking at the previous lap times. Mid-23, so not really an outlier here for Calster. Yeah, just a couple of tenths quicker per lap, and that adds up. We jump to P5 and the rest of the grid. We'll see those gaps. So roughly 15 seconds between P4 and P5. Another 18 and 2. Jakey in P6. He's probably going for a long stint with those mediums. And we have the 66 car now close to getting lapped, and it happens now. So leader gets through, and it's down to 6 cars on that lead lap. P8 we have another medium tire runner with Archivert. Project 1 Racing. 6.5 seconds that gap to Willy for the My Team Esports. 54 AMG, and after that overtake now it's slowly opened up that gap to Inferno Motorsport Floris on medium tires, so on different strategies. First one, so I want to check with the 73 how long can they stretch this stint on those softs. They're doing another one, starting racing lap 27. Total lap 28, and 2 seconds, not losing too much time to Rodriguez, but also I cannot keep up with that pace currently. Let's have a look at Antonio gaining on Calster on those last couple of minutes, so less than 5 seconds. Let's quickly check on Carlster's tire wear. That's not too bad. So very similar between the two. And Antonio, he put in a little bit more fuel during the driver swap compared to Carlster in the Ferrari 296. I just could like flip the page then after the upcoming pit stops, so that fuel, yeah, it's a slow refuel rate, so you will definitely gain a couple of seconds if you put in less liters into the tank. And this was a little wee moment because he touched the grass. Got a little bit loose and lost another 5/6 on that lap. So it looks like it's a two-way battle for the win between the 111 Porsche OVO Esports, our championship leaders, and the NWR Motorsports team running the 224 Ferrari 296. And of course, with two absolute legends driving, Carlster and Antonio both will be attending the live event in Milan that is right around the corner. So we will see them on the big stage during those live events, racing for their manufacturers. And in P3 we also have a former World Tour driver with Rodriguez. So yeah, stacked crit again here with the IRO GT Endurance Championship in 2026. The 73 and Adi, they are struggling now on those worn soft tires, but it's lap 30, so I think this could be just enough now then to make that one stop work. Soft to mediums. It's another lap on those soft, so interesting to see. You can see it yourself, like the tire wear now definitely visible on all soft tire runners. The shaky and the mediums, so they're doing well in this one. So definitely on the alternative strategy for the start of the second stint. This could be one of our first stoppers then, looking at the fuel. Very low indeed, and yeah, tires also seen better days. The number 20 car in P8 currently. Also on those mediums. 9 seconds, so oof. Here we go again. This time roles reversed. Willie needs to defend from Flores. Flores on those mediums. Yeah, also no drama with the tires compared to low fuel and worn tires in that AMG. For those last couple of laps, AMG seems to be struggling a little bit and gives the BMW the opportunity maybe to make that overtake, even if they are on a different strategy at the moment. The shadow is in as expected. Not much fuel was left in that Porsche 911. So we can expect some more drivers. And now visiting their pit crews, the 73, they made it very far at their extending. It looks like they're more comfortable with worn softs than going on to the medium tire compound. So, oof. Maybe also the fuel needs to be calculated into the formula. But that tire is definitely gone now. And yeah, the gap to Rodriguez, 7 seconds now, 24, 25s for Adi. Rodriguez, he also just dropped into the 24s. I think with fuel should be good to run 2, 3, maybe 4 laps. Surely the 73 has to pit now. And here we go. He's in. Also a tricky pit entry. So I think at least for one lap, the 303 Gilgood Racing Porsche will gain one position and jump the 73. So sitting in the pits, refueling. Where is the Esports Racer Silent Porsche J-Key? Adi still refueling. It's taking quite some time and it's nearly a full tank, and the medium tire compound as expected. So that's P6 for now, and blue flags already come out of pit lane, but the leaders are blasting past, and Antonio, he's on a mission here, gaining on Karlster. Just 2.5 seconds now. That gap, looking at the tires here, so might see the leaders pitting soon here as well. So blue flag, but not down the straight. I think this could be just fine before the final turn. Also, Adi is on fresh medium tires. Should probably be around the same pace as the leaders on those worn softs. So Karlster, he is staying out. Antonio also staying out. So gap stays at 2.5, 2.6 seconds with a 23.999. And who is the next driver to pit? So the fuel is getting low for the 23. They could still run, I think, 2 more laps easily. Question is, do they want to? Yeah, at least one more. And with Feel Good Racing, so they opted to like put in a lot of fuel after the driver swap, running with a slightly heavier car. Should benefit a bit later than with that fuel that's already in the car. Long stint for those medium tire runners, Jakey, Archivert, Flores. So looks like very, very controlled here for the mediums. Yeah, Feel Good Racing are definitely on the move with that fuel strategy. Definitely, they're making some ground. So we see soft tires again for the Shadow and the 66 crew. They're stuck behind the 23 now. They are yet to pit. And the My Team Esports AMG, they went into pit lane and running on the medium tires. Now let's wait for our leaders. No, Kelster is still running, down to 2 seconds between Kelster and Antonio. NWR versus OVO Esports, the battle for the lead. But also not far away from the pit stop. I expected 23 then to be one of the next cars to enter pit lane. They could probably get one more lap out of the tank. Tires, yeah, looks probably still okay, and it's exactly what they're doing, but I think they it's a tricky situation for the Shadow and the 66 car behind on fresh soft tires. But then again, you are allowed, of course, to unlap yourself in a safe way, of course. You don't want to risk like running into a collision with the car you want to overtake. So that's why probably they're just keeping it safe, staying behind. They will probably know that the 23 car is about to pit now. Kelster is in now, and Antonio extending. So also said earlier, Antonio put in more fuel after the driver swap. So that's a significant advantage for the 111 Porsche compared to the 224 NWR Ferrari. The tire change completed, and it's now the mediums coming out of pit lane. It's P3 for now, just behind the 23 and the 66. But yeah, the interesting lead. 23 still going. So And here are some familiar names in chat. Hello, everybody. Long time no see. So yeah, of course, still in the business. So what about Antonio going for another lap? For the 23. Now probably it's time. Shadow in the 66 car behind will be very, very happy if that blue car in front dives into pit lane. Yeah, we see the indicator for the 23, so it's pit lane. No, JP, I won't be singing. No, stop it. It's not a 24-hour race. It's just 8 hours here at Brands Hatch today. So, no Jägeroki. Sorry to disappoint, and yeah, you can whatever, dislike the stream for that. I don't care. Hehe. So, Jensen, you're thinking Antonio doing soft? It would be a big stretch. Out of the fuel? Yeah, definitely. Would be possible. Just where are my notes? Come on, I should be prepared. Like, soft is a possibility, definitely, but like with the tire allocations, might sacrifice and a little bit later of pace with your teammates. So just to double check here, don't want to tell you anything incorrect. So for the entire 8 hours we have 6 sets of racing softs available, 2 sets of mediums and 4 sets of hards. So this opens up probably at least one stint with a soft if you can manage it. A soft medium would be also okay for 2 stints, but then there are still 2 more stints to do something else. So yeah, maybe we see the hard tires also for this one. I have no clue, but this is also a bit of like the strategic aspect for this year now with the tire allocation. So you cannot push every stint. But yeah, and Antonio is definitely extending, going long, and I mean target lap would be end of 44, maybe 45, to make that soft strategy work for a racing stint number 2. Yeah, Stick, I mean, a full stint miss, yeah, basically a full stint disconnect will be probably round about 2 laps. And yeah, they were leading after stint 1, so that's a tough pill to swallow for Sector 7 Racing. That one, so hopefully they can return for stint number 3. In Jensen, I haven't followed the racing action on stint number 1, so I can't tell you the tire usage. But you might go back to GT45 Gaming's stream and see if you can spot what he was been using. Okay, no lander to the rescue. He did. Okay. So end of lap 43. Antonio's still running. So Calstar after the pit stop on the medium tire compound now in P3. We still have feel good racing running. They might be also looking at a soft stint. Looking at this, but the tire wear slightly worse compared to Antonio or Super GT in this one. And P4, it's the Esports Race Asylum number 1 car. A long medium stint going on. Rodriguez for Apex Motorsport. That's soft to medium. This second stint. Adi, the same for the ERS team. Also soft to medium. P7 Project 1 racing with Archibald and Super GT is in now. That's... what's that? 43, 42 racing laps. This might be a bit too much. And for a second stint on soft, so we'll see what happens. Flores for Inferno is still going on those mediums since the start of this race stint number 2. Shadow going for the second soft stint, but pretty sure they have to pit again. And Willie for my team esports, softs to mediums currently. So where's Feel Good Racing? They're on softs again. Okay, so maybe they're then running a very short splash and dash stint on hards. Or this one I can't see them actually doing 46, 47-ish laps on softs again. But yeah, only time will tell, of course. We don't know. And this could be the in lap then for Antonio. End of lap 45 would be okay. And to go for soft, so pit entry. No drama in here. Oh, can Calstar get back into the lead? Oh, he's on a different strategy with soft to mediums and had roughly 2 seconds before his pit stop. Oh, tire. It's been swapped. Antonio coming out of pit lane and he's 2.5. So didn't lose too much, running a bit longer on those warm soft tires, and now clearly has an advantage for the next 20-30 minutes maybe. He should be able to bring that gap down and to Calstar, so we'll keep a close eye on that. So midway through the second race stint, we have the 224 in the lead, 2.5 seconds, that gap to the 111 on the outlap on fresh soft tires, pushing now. P3, we have the number 1 car, started on the mediums, so they will have to pit at some point during this stint. P4, it is the 23 car. They already pitted, started on softs, now running with the mediums and gaining on the car in front. Our tires in a much better condition, of course. And 1.5 seconds. That gap in P5. It's a lead racing squad, the 73 BMW. Only 12-13 seconds that gap on those mediums. And the soft are back on that 303 Porsche for Feel Good Racing. So also this gap should come down between P5 and P6 very soon. Then up to P7 for Project 1 Racing on those mediums since the start of the stint. P8 we have the 66 on that second set of softs. Currently Inferno Motorsport in P9 on mediums. Since the start, fuel getting lower now for that car, and the E54 My Team Esports AMG soft to medium already. So let's go back to the lead battle, 1.3 seconds, just in time. I think for Antonio pushing, trying, of course, to catch Karlstad and maybe also get the fastest lap of that stint. Has a good run. And there are also some blue flags. Your marshals keep indicating some cars to be lapped soon. And what a run it is. Less than a second. Oh, Nipper Dog in the chat. Hey, good afternoon. So, how are you? Oh, and Antonio now right behind Karlstad. Battle for the lead. Antonio on the softs, Karlstad on those mediums. We see on the Porsche gaining and gaining and gaining. Yeah, Nipper, I'm fine. I'm busy as always. Organizing and commentating on things. But all good, all good. Hope you're also okay, and yeah. Nice to have you in the stream. Back to that fight for the lead. Where are the blue flags? Yeah, that not impeding at the moment, so it's... But this could get spicy. We see that 66 Porsche. They're getting lapped very soon. And Antonio with the run. Oh, Less than 4/10. Turn 4. We see the move down the straight. Out of turn number 4. Early on the power. Trusting the downforce, trusting the traction. And it's less than 3/10. Oh, can Kelster defend the inside? He feels confident. Stays on the racing line. You can clearly see that Antonio in the Porsche is pushing. And the blue flags still showing. So this could be the run. Good exit out of the final turn. Kelster going defensive, covering the inside for turn number 1. Antonio with the switch back, looking down the inside, side by side, and go through. Panicle bend. Oh, that was close. Kelster defended that position very, very nicely. Oh, this is not the end of the race, Nipper Doc. Oh, it's an 8-hour event. This is hours 3 and 4 in this one, so all good. And now again, Kelster going defensive, covering the inside. Can Antonio hold it around? No, not quite. So yeah, deja vu. I think we've seen it a couple of times throughout this race and this stint. Here, it's a good track to defend your position. And even if you're in a little bit of a slower car, making it very hard for the car behind this time. A little bit of touch involved. Kelster still covering the inside line for the final turn. And now I think Antonio will have the advantage on the inside already. Heading into turn number 1 and making that move stick. Parked it on the apex and now should be able to open up a little gap and extend his lead. Let's go to the replay. I think that was a nice overtake with the netted asterisks, like soft tires versus medium tires. So, new race situation. OVO Esports in the lead. NWR P2. Then P3, it's Apex Motorsport with Rodriguez. They made that pass on Jakey, who hasn't pitted yet. That's P4 for now. The drivers around him, they have pitted. So might be losing 2 positions. Oh, there's a battle for P5 and 6. That yellow, white and black Porsche with Super GT for Feel Good Racing is pushing, trying to go for a move against Adi in the 73 BMW. Grass trying to look down the inside. Was it enough room? Has to wait. Oh, not close enough for my liking for a move into the first turn. But maybe into Druids. Let's see. The run down and uphill. 73 going defensive, covering the apex. Three, 4/10 still. So not the best run out of 30, so Adi in the BMW can breathe for now, at least. Yeah, Dipper, that's a bit of the beauty of endurance racing, so it's not like you have to like force your moves because you have time. And you also have to think about your teammates in this event, so and also in those races you're running with the heavy damage, so you also want to be a bit more patient. Going forward, a good run, but not close enough again. Closing the gap into Druids, now right on the tail. But where is the gap? Where is the opportunity? Well, the focus should be on exit out of turn number 4, uphill, good traction, should be advantage for the Porsche now. Racing soft tires, more grip. But not quite there. Oh. There's either a little mistake or a bit of an aggressive late braking move happening. But so far, yeah, very respectful racing between the drivers. This could be the run. Great run out of final turn on the inside already. No! Adi defending the inside line. A bit too early onto the racing line. Not covering the inside, but he was confident enough. He would have the run. Oop! And yeah, this was commentator's curse. You see that there was contact between Super GT and a J-Key. So we heading into Druids. Let's see the onboard. I think Adi wanted to go on a late defensive move here. We'll see if there's an incident report then happening with the stewards. Yeah, you could argue for both, like it was a very late move. But yeah. Definitely not ideal if two cars have a little bit of contact with each other, so always someone is not happy with the situation. Let's put it that way. So we see the next drivers in. We saw the Project 1 racing Porsche. They're out on soft tires, and J-Key is also in for service. Probably switching from the mediums to the softs now. He will keep that a P6. P7, the 66 car, they are low on fuel, so they have to pit soon, and then sure, I think they went soft in this stint. What's it gonna be? And for the team, they will lose that position to the 20 car. What about Inferno Motorsport in P9 now? These softs as well. after a longer stint on the mediums. And P10 currently, it's my team, esports, and soft 2 mediums. So after that, in the end, forced overtake, so the gap went up to 2.5 seconds already. So that's the difference if you have clean air, clear track, and can use the pace. And on your soft tires, you see a purple first sector already. Trying to push now. So at least from my understanding, the top 6, there's no scheduled pit stop before the driver swap. Ooh, a rare track limit penalty. And yeah, has to serve it right away. So let's have a look at our leaders again. So after the overtake, Antonio with a roughly 5-second lead. And the only question is, can he nurse those tires till the end of the stint? And when will we see the crossover point between the softs and the mediums? So I guess on those final 5 minutes or so, the gap between Antonio and Carlstar will move the other direction again. Those mediums should be the better tire than for those last couple of minutes. But for now, the softs are definitely preferable, and the faster tire, 22.8, 9, 8, 9. It's what we can expect from a World Tour driver. So 5 seconds now to Carlstar with a 0.55. Those last couple of laps are also very consistent. 0.5, 0.5, 0.7, 7.6. Doing his job, keeping it steady, consistent, and yeah, putting the rest of the team in a good position for the rest of this race. P3, we have still our Apex Motorsports team in the 23 Porsche. The gap to Feel Good Racing, 12 seconds. So FGR on the softs and AMS on the mediums. The gap should probably come down a little bit, but probably won't be enough for the 303 car to catch the 23 before those swaps. So then P5 and P6 also have a situation medium on the BMW versus softs on that Porsche. And Jakey with his personal best last time round, and a purple split sector time. So just one corner, and does he get the run? I think a 22 is definitely on the board. 22.8, close to that fastest lap so far. And I think just in time, we see the fuel is low for 66. They're doing one more. Okay. One more and then probably the final pit stop in this stint. And that green Porsche is flying now. New fastest lap. 22.6. So what's the gap then to Jakey? That's 26, 27 seconds, and both on a similar strategy. It will be a big challenge. Probably too much for Project 1 Racing. And some more blue flag scenarios on the track. The 27 car staying in front of the 23. 27 is on softs and the 23 on medium, so maybe it was just like an unlapping. Could be that the 27 is a bit quicker at the moment. Look at lap times, 23 versus yeah, I think a little bit, those soft tires. So it's all fair and square this time around. About as expected. The 66 car is in. They lost that position to Project 1 Racing. And they stay in front of the 27, yeah. Oh, and it's another set of softs. And yeah, just 3 seconds now between P8 and P9. That could be some interesting 28 laps. Slight advantage, of course, for the 66 with brand new softs now. Yeah, I think already up to speed. Ooh, again. Another penalty, so interesting. You see penalties happening at this part of the track, but with that penalty, so that gives Flores the chance to get into the slipstream range. Went a little bit wide on the final turn, so not quite, but personal best, a 22.8. That's not too far off the really fast lap times from the drivers a bit further up the order. So good to see that 27 car. So flying, and it's a second, so a little mistake from the 66 car happened. Now this could be, yes, maybe, hopefully, a close one until the end of the stint. So just under a second between P8 and P9. The gap to the My Team AMG 12 seconds now, and on those mediums. So they probably won't be able to get back into that fight for position. Stay with the 27 and the 66 and some more blue flags. Loris is gaining on that first sector. Half a second. And that's the 23 running in P3. It's causing the blue flags. Still causing the blue flags, but probably not for long. Both the Shadow and Floris are on the soft compound. Another 10th is gone. Using all of the track and a little bit of grass. This could be the run. No, not quite. It's 3.5 tenths, but getting closer and closer every lap. Look at the entry speed into turn 1, the difference between the 27 and the 66. So that inside went. Oh, unlucky moment between the two. There was contact on the entry, and then Floris crashed. Oof, and the 23 was also involved. We need to have the long replay. And we look at the 27's perspective. So on the inside, then touched the rear and then forced car wide, and then let's see what happens. Woo! Oh no, I feel like that didn't end well for the 3 car. Yep, there is damage on that car. Oh boy, that's quite unlucky, of course, but I mean that 27 car kept coming back onto the racing line out of control. And yeah, that's the podium probably. Again, they just come in to repair the damage, of course, with the tire allocations. I can't really afford to go on a different compound, so it's 5 seconds now, the gap to P3. And that FGR car, but and I think I have that suspicion that 303 Porsche has to do a pit stop again and use maybe the hard tires for a couple of laps until the end. So they went in, I think, end of lap 42 from soft onto softs again, and 88 racing laps. I'm not sure if they can manage this. So the good thing is that you have a relatively short pit loss here at Brands Hatch. It just comes down to fixing the damage. But that was, I think, roughly 10-11 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, including the repair. But yeah, probably one of the moments in this stint so far, and a very unlucky one for the 23. Let's do a little bit of a rundown. Oh, Antonio, yeah, extending that lead, 10.4 seconds now. So the tire drop-off, not really a thing at this stage. Then up to P3, Feel Good Racing and Super GT. But there was a mistake. Not sure, it's gap from 5 down to 3.4. Another 8 seconds to ERS, but just 2 for GTEC, so that Esports Race Asylum Porsche is pushing on the soft tires. So we could see a change of position here between those two. .7 indeed. Come back to that in a moment, just go through the rest of the grid. So a bit of no man's land for Project 1 Racing in P7. Shadow now with that healthy gap for 6 seconds to the 27 in P9, and my team in a 10th position. So back to that brewing battle. Now battle for P5, Elite Racing Squad versus Esports Race Asylum. Good run out of the final turn. Bit wide, but I think he just managed to stay out of the gravel. 3/10. Looking at the tires, shouldn't be an issue at all for GTEC. Now he can attack. That's 2/10, and we see, yeah, semi-defensive for a brief moment. Oh, looking down the inside for the first time. Mediums on Ardi's car, a bit more wear compared to GTEC's softs, so the grip advantage should be definitely here showing for GTEC in the Porsche. But good run out of the final turn. Again, have to be patient around this track to go for that move. Inside line, ooh, late move, but a decisive move. Maybe caught Ardi by surprise here. Well, let's see that again. Let's go to GTEC's onboard. How was the setup? Looked fairly easy, but yeah, it looked like definitely later on the brakes and the inside line was available. So it's lap 71 with end of lap 89. So that's 19 to go. Yeah, you can judge for yourself with those tires. Do you think Super GT can make it to the end on those soft tires, or do they have to stop again? It's up to 5 seconds, so the pace is not a problem at the moment on those worn softs, but it won't get any better, of course. Ooh. Very wide. Mid 23. For AMS on those mediums. So next question is, of course, Jakey is pushing like crazy. And he's gaining on the 23 here as well, under 8 seconds with 18 to go, including this lap. Yeah. Yeah, definitely get close before we see the drivers driving into pit lane for the next driver swap. We will keep an eye on that, and let's see that. So Antonio is also doing the soft strategy, and if we compare his tires to Super GT tires, then we see a bit of a difference. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned for Feel Good Racing currently to make it on those softs until the end. 13 seconds roughly now, the gap for Antonio Calster, running a consistent stint, and on the mediums P2 is safe. Let's see those lap times again. High 23s, low 24s versus, yeah, we saw even 22s, low 23s, so definitely catching. Let's have a look at ERS with 5 seconds and not able to go that pace on those mediums, but a healthy 20.6 second gap to Archivert for Project 1 Racing. 33 seconds, and to Shadow and GT Finland Racers. And after that incident between the 66 and the 27 slowly coming back. Less than 5 seconds for now for this one. So I think Jakey is currently the fastest driver on track, and no drama here with the blue flags. Just over 6 seconds to go. getting closer towards the driver swap. So this stream then, just as a precaution, will end when the driver swaps have completed, and then we will continue with Stint 3. The link will be posted once that stream is live, and it will be on No Lander Gaming's YouTube channel. So also be sure to visit him, say hello, drop a like, subscribe, you know the drill. So yeah, last stages now for stint number 2, and under 6 seconds for Jakey. Quick look to Super GT, that's 4.3 also. Lap times are dropping now into the 24s. Yeah, we see the medium tires. 1, 2, 3 tenths faster at this stage. So that battle for P3 is far from over. With the very fast Jakey, and was there a little mistake? Adi, 25, 26, so seems to be struggling a little bit now, and suddenly that gap to Archivert and Project 1 Racing down to 14 seconds. Maybe some late battles before the driver swap could be. Was very interesting then to see how that race continues in the next stint. Different drivers, of course, for all the teams driving, also with the tire allocations. Let's see how much tire sets are available for the teams, and also then after the swaps, how much fuel will you put in the car. And so big rundown, 14 seconds between Antonio and Carlster, 51 and 2 Super GT, so the top 2, they are unstoppable today. And lap times are still going into the wrong direction if you're rooting for Feel Good Racing. So 3.3 to Rodriguez. And Jakey just 4 seconds, so we'll think we'll stay with Rodriguez and the 23, so we see both gaps. It's still 12 laps to go when they cross that line. Yeah, you see that Super GT is struggling now with the pace. I mean, you can probably drive on completely red and dead tires, but that's not really fast, and you may have to make that decision now. Pit and use one of the hard tires for this race, or suffer on those softs. But you can definitely see that gap like melting. (24.7), 23.9, and a 23.3. So GTEC is gaining on Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is gaining on Super GT. So could be a great setup for those last couple of minutes in this second stint of the Brands Hatch 8 hours race today. Yeah, this was my guess as well, Stick. So when they pitted lap 42, felt like they had to probably go for 4 or 5 laps on hards. And on the other hand, we did see that you can also defend on that track, like, and make it extremely hard. But was there an indicator? No. It was just a little bit of sun reflecting. 1.2. So here we go. That's also true, yeah. The short pit loss was probably the best thing in that entire incident for AMS, so still you also have to look at the overall race time and with your strategy, and maybe you have some drivers later on that are going for the extreme push strategy, so they went maybe a little bit conservative for the first 2 stints and wanted to push maybe for a race victory even. So that probably very hard now at this stage with 1:10. Yeah, you never know what can happen in those races. So that's 9 to go when they cross the line. Oh, and Super GT is staying out less than a second, and JK under 3 seconds. The gap, look at JK's lap time, yeah, not as fast as the previous one, still quicker than the drivers in front, and the Super GT recovered a little bit on that lap, a 24.4. Maybe he's pushing now. Final couple of laps on those softs. Pretty sure they realize they won't make it until the end of the stint. So, and now it doesn't really matter. Just push, push, push. And yeah, it's also like, who's the best Porsche in this? No, it's not the best Porsche, it's Antonio and Ovo Esports in the lead. Forgot about that. They're also running the Porsche since the start of the season. It's punching up between the three. And also if Rodriguez doesn't get a move early, then this will help GTEC. So here we go, three-way battle for the podium. And a blue flag maybe also. Ooh! What happened to the Super GT driver? And Feel Good Racing went a little bit deep into turn number 4. Dirty tires. Maybe a tire wear was kicking in. We'll go to the replay in a second. Just wait for GTEC. So he's really close. Is he going for a move? Probably not, so let's just add into the replay. Let's see. This looked like a leg punt. Really sure how that car got that little hit, so it probably wasn't showing that way. Yeah, definitely netcode from my perspective at least looked very odd. And now GTEC all over Super GT's rear. And the German driver is suffering now from the tire wear. He's not defending the inside line. Can he hold the line through the right-hander? Yes, he can, but yeah, the lobby quality is dropping a little bit. Definitely more lag now on that spectate mode happening, so probably also not easy for the drivers to judge. And that's a good thing if you're rooting for the 23 in Apex Motorsports. We have 1.6 seconds now. Will we see a move into Druids? GTEC with the run early on the inside, showing his nose, and should get that inside line. And yeah, nice overtake. The GTEC up to P4, 1.8 to Rodriguez, and let's see the gap. Antonio's tires are also dying now. It's 14, roughly 15 seconds, and the gap to Calster in P2. So, yeah, would be okay, I think, with 3.5 laps to go. But this could still be very interesting. Battle for P3. 23 versus the number 1. 1.5 seconds. GTEC on the softs, Rodriguez on the medium. Super GT is still running on those soft tires. He would have the gap to stay in P5 and changing on to the hards maybe to Adi and ERS in 6th position. 7 seconds, then the gap to Project 1 Racing and Archirod GT. 36 to the Shadow. We just spotted that the 27 Pro is running with the damage. When did that happen? Lap 76, maybe 1 minute 30.1 could be the indicator. Something happened there while we were following the battles. And for P3, 4 and 5, and my team AMG in P10. 1.3, 1.4. And shaky catch Rodriguez on those last couple of laps. Antonio is on lap 87, so end of lap 89 is where we see the drivers heading into pit lane for the driver swap. A bit more to go for Rodriguez and J-Key. And the gap to Super GT up to 4 seconds nearly. Now, is it too late to pit or just deal with it? Yeah, trying to go for another one. So a very long second stint on those soft tires. Still 1.2, 1.3. So softs, yeah. We see the wear. So also, if you push too hard for too long, those tires will overheat and you will lose some grip. Well, 1.4. A little bit of a breather for Rodriguez. Antonio on lap 88. And there should be in the Discord. So let's see if I can find that somewhere. There is one. Oh, let me see if I can post that into the stream chat here. Bear with me. Oh, you should see that link now. So final lap for Antonio. What's the gap between Rodriguez and Jakey? They still have a bit more to go. That's just started their penultimate lap. Then Calster in P2, 15 seconds. A quick look at Archivert catching 4 seconds to Adi. Also something to monitor. We'll stay with Antonio now. A very clean stint from Antonio. Came out of the pits in P2 due to a different fuel strategy. And then went for the soft tire run. And he will be handing over that car in P1 after the halfway mark of this 8-hour race. So Antonio is in, heading over. And next up will be Karlstad. So the Ferrari up there since yesterday's qualifying and today's race, so always at the sharp end of that grid. You see those two drivers have a huge gap to the rest of the grid. Looks like the 23 can keep that P3. And yeah, Super GT, he didn't pit, so he stayed out on those softs, but lost a lot of time, 9 seconds already to Jakey. So last corners for the 23 and the number 1. And 23 is in, the number 1 is in. Then roughly 10 seconds, I think. Where's the car? Where's the camera? Here we go. So into pit lane for Feel Good Racing in P5 on that final lap. Down to 3 seconds. That gap between Elite Racing Squad and Project 1 Racing. P6 is in. P7 is in as well. Ooh! A spin on the final lap for the Shadow. Massive damage also received through Dingledell. Probably unlucky, and definitely you don't want to see that. But they will keep that P8 for now. It's 10 seconds to P9. Then we have the number 27 Inferno Motorsport BMW into pit lane, also with some damage on that final stint. And last but not least, we have my team Esports, the 54 AMG, into pit lane. Alright, that's it from my end. Go to No-Lander and yeah, watch the rest of this 8-hour race with GT45 Gaming, then bringing us home then for stint number 4. So thank you all for watching and see you next time.